Hold on. We're talking to MARISSA, ACIERTO, community organizer in San Diego, California, and expressing her opinions and, of course, what she feels and hears from the community. You were just talking about the possible Trump and Hillary Clinton presidential U.S. elections 2016. Of course, we don't know because now the Republican Party seems to have a presumptive nominee. On the other hand, the Democrats, who in the beginning we thought would have it resolved much earlier, now still has Mr. Bernie Sanders going all the way.
Yeah, like I said, he's getting, Bernie Sanders is really, creating a phenomena among the teen votes and the college students. I mean, he's doing exactly like basically that rallying like the way Obama did, and that's I believe for the Democratic side that's a really good thing. Hillary's not being able to touch on those bases right now for whatever reason. And just recently, I just got an email regarding like there was an issue about Hillary supporting one of the rapists at one point, and so that the issue of that happened before that that who she protected and so forth. It's coming. It's rehashing again. So I don't understand. That could hurt her on that end if it continues on. So that's just something that just starting to float around in the emails.
Mm-hmm. So do you think, MARISSA, this thing of Bernie Sanders being very popular with almost the millennials, it's incredible. You think this will hurt Hillary Clinton in the convention?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
Will this affect Hillary Clinton? Although Hillary already has so many votes, and it's a little bit difficult for Bernie Sanders to to catch up with the number of delegates, but he promises to be there all the way. I'm asking whether this will hurt Hillary Clinton because this delays having a nominee for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, if that's, I think that's why Hillary's not able to get it right away, because Bernie Sanders is really going out there and he's really outreaching it, and so that's like kind of like a toss-up right now. The Bernie Sanders team is still going strong. I mean it's pretty obvious on that end, but on the other end, there's a lot of supporters here too in San Diego for Hillary. I mean it's even though no matter what she's done, the same thing, just like with Trump, whatever he says. They do have their loyal supporters.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you think will this email investigation, they say, might happen? Will this affect Hillary Clinton?
That's a good question, because I actually just got that just yesterday, and then it was just starting to be like a chain reaction, and that should be an interesting thing, because it's. Because of course both Hillary and Trump, I'm sure, have their own scruples together, on their end, and it should be an interesting thing how with the two, how it would how all of this would hash up probably in the general election, if those two are the one that's going to be up for bid.
Mm-hmm. Now, MARISSA ACIERTO, a community organizer from San Diego who we're talking to, we would like to find out, well, the viewers would like to know, do you think a Trump-Clinton ticket will be more challenging for Mr. Trump, or will it be an easier climb if it were Trump-Sanders ticket?
That remains to be seen on that end, because again, I think that if Sanders came into the ticket and Trump was there, for whatever reason, Sanders getting a lot of teen votes, and that could, and if there was no other Democrat in place, that really would help the Democratic side. With Hillary, if she gets on board, it's going to be a little bit different, because again, she didn't get the teen votes and the college votes and so forth the way Sanders is, and their opinion is going to be very hard for them to engage and whether or not they're going to go out there to vote, because these are like first-time voters, I believe, that are actually voting for Sanders. So if Hillary can't cut it to try to convince them, that's going to hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, you've got Trump, who's got, votes from the independent side, and even some Democrats that may even vote for him too. And and he's and his engagement is a phenomenal thing. Even though yes, there's some things that are going on that's not correct on some ends, like the activities that and I'm not saying that he's the one that's engaging in those activities, but it could be that because of how he politically says things, it becomes into a more of a turmoil in some of the activities that he's in and involved, and it kind of points the finger at him. In reality, it's not really about him. It's just the way it's being presented. It gets people riled up, and so people are more also as boisterous as he is, because he's like the chain of command.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of issues for concern, I know that, of course, California would have their special concerns, but the whole nation, what would be the major issues of concern for the entire America?
I believe the concern for the entire America is to get a lot of people, get them engaged in more fulfilling and jobs that could, so that, because basically if they're able to get jobs in that sense that are more fulfilling, that are out there for them to be able to have, everything will come into place. Of course, the education, I believe, is also another factor involved. And for the API community, especially the Filipinos in general, I believe that the South China Sea issue needs to be resolved.
Mm-hmm. And what about yes? Continue.
Yes, yeah. Because something like that, I think that needs to be resolved, because we just can't put that in the back burner. I think it's really important that we make sure that all the neighboring countries there are well protected, and that basically everything that is owned to them, should belong to them, not with other communities that are there in the other parts of the world, which could be like China, who's trying to take over on that end.
Yes, Marissa, is terrorism also an issue?
I'm sorry?
Terrorism, is it also an issue? Terrorism, does it bother people, and do they make it also one of their important concerns for these elections?
To me, Awee, it's like for myself in general, and then for people, of course, terrorism always hits the heart when something actually happens. When the actual major thing happens, it becomes, it is the number one issue all over again. Mm-hmm. Right now, at this point, of course, because we're not engaging in something right now at this point, trying to get, the Syrians back in here and all that other issues. It kind of it's not something that's being done at this moment again. But when something like that does happen, then it becomes like a number one issue all over again. Because of course it's frightening, especially when it deals with how their perspective of how they deal with things, and it is something that should be an issue to be addressed.
So when you said jobs, you're practically saying that once again it's the economy, right? Jobs is the number one.
Right. I believe that jobs. If people are able to get their jobs, they're able. The economy goes up. That they buy a house. They buy property. They buy whatever they need to buy, and that stimulates growth in the community. And with that, of course, people are able to engage in having their health is taken care of as well, and so forth. It all has a flow system there. You truly can have education, but if there is no job when you try to get yourself to when you have your education. Then because I see a lot of people, they're getting their college degree, and some of them are working till this day.
Mm-hmm. We're